There are a lot of cars which people call icons, but some don't really live up to the badge. So what about this one? This doesn't just live up to it, it defines it. This M car was launched at the turn of the millennium, and this E46 M3 was BMW at its finest. No emissions targets, no fake exhaust sound, or any digital wizardry. This car gave birth to the legendary S54 straight 6, 8,000 RPM of raw, naturally aspirated greatness. It was the definition of an M car. Rear-wheel drive, perfect weight distribution, and a manual gearbox if you wanted one. So if you want to experience what BMW M stands for, simply get behind the wheel of the E46 M3. Everything, absolutely everything about this car is perfect. The looks, just the general feel about this car. It feels so driver focused, it feels so special. The noise as well, when you bring it down, just hear it sing. Everything you want from an M car, this gives you. Now today you can get an M badge on pretty much anything, SUVs, hybrids, whereas back in the mid-2000s, if you wanted a real M car, this was it. Now sure, you still had the Z4M to choose from, which had the same S54 engine, what's found in this, and if you want to watch my review on one of those cars, click on the pop-up banner now. But for me, a real M car has always been about that coupe shape. 4 seats, enough room for the family if you really wanted to, and still, when you put it round the corner, oh, the balance of this car. And it's still fun, massively fun, what a car! Now I think my F82 M4 CS is one of the most beautiful M cars ever made. Whereas with this, I think it's the prettiest M car ever made. I mean, just look at it. It's clean, muscular, and it's got that timeless BMW look. It's hard to believe that this car is over 20 years old. The owner of this car, Jonathan, has given this car a complete restoration, and whilst he was in the process of doing that, he's given the chassis new PowerFlex bushes all round. However, the shocks remain stock, just with lowering springs. So through a corner, it just dances, it just feels so light, so precise, so natural as well. Combine it with that hydraulic steering rack. Oh, it's where the good stuff happens, where the corners. But the beauty about this engine, let's go down to second gear. And of course, this is manual, so it's just perfect for rev matching and all that sort of stuff. And we're just going to let the revs build up for a minute, just so you can understand the noise this car makes. And whilst you're in the low gear, it makes a lovely rumble, but plant your right foot, instant. And there's 8,000 RPM. And this manual gearbox just feels so connected, so manual, or so mechanical, shall I say. And I just love the fact you're not waiting around for a turbo, instant. Thank God for naturally aspirated. This is incredible, this car. Oh, I can't get enough of that noise. Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Speaking of which, let's check the engine out. Another reason why I think this is BMW at its finest is this. The last ever M3 to feature a high-revving, naturally aspirated straight 6 engine. Not just any straight 6 engine, the S54. Now, stock, this produces 343 horsepower and 360-ish newton meters of torque, whereas this, because it's got a massive air intake, this produces 369 horsepower, so quite a difference from factory. Now, BMW M engineers set out that they wanted to produce an engine with over 100 horsepower per litre. And they did just that. I think for a naturally aspirated engine producing this amount of figures, it's seriously impressive by today's standards. However, this engine wasn't exactly perfect from a reliability point of view. And if you plan on owning this car, then you must know about its common problems. And one is to do with the engine, Vanos, rod bearings, and head gasket. And if you opt for the automated manual, that can be a problem within itself. But the main problem on these cars is in the back with the rear subframe. They are prone to rust and cracking. However, if you come across one which has been really looked after, then you just bought yourself the best M car ever made. Now I've got a message. I'd like to say a massive thanks to those who watch, like, follow, share, comment. Really appreciate it. But I'd massively appreciate it more if you can just press that subscribe button, because 93% of you who do watch aren't subscribed. Please just press that subscribe button. It would go a long way. Next, we're going to talk about the looks of this stunning car. For me, this is BMW at its finest. This and the E39 M3 is bellissimo. It just oozes confidence. It doesn't shout about how good this car looks. You've got the profile in the bonnet, these lights. It's just stunning. And coming onto the side, talking about these Apex alloy wheels. These are Apex MR10 RTs, I believe, and these are just absolutely stunning. And next we're going to talk about the brakes. Now these are quite different. Now the discs are from an E92 M3, but the calipers are from a Mercedes 6.3 litre, I think a C63. But coming over to the overall side profile of this car, proportionally, it's just absolutely stunning, isn't it? It just is beautiful. Come into the rear. I mean, look at the come here. Look at the fitment there. It's just absolutely bob on, as I should say. Whilst you're there, though, take a look at the rear caliper. That's from a Porsche Boxster. Very, very interesting. Because when we come onto the rear of the car, it's just a clean design. Quad tailpipes, and that's your lot. Oh, and obviously, rear flared arches. And when we come to the inside, it's simple yet again. I love how simple this steering wheel, this has been retrimmed with the Alcantara. Lovely and thin BMW. Go back to your old ways of steering wheels being thin instead of dead thick. And behind them is very clear 4 dials. Now, usually there's no screens going on in a regular E46 M3, but Jonathan has put a Pioneer screen in here, so it does bring it up to date slightly. But just the driving position, this car is about the driving experience, and it does just that. Now, the E46 M3 was the last M3 to ever feature a naturally aspirated straight 6, not naturally aspirated engine, because that crown goes to the V8, obviously being the E90, E92 with the S65 engine. And a lot of people argue which is the best between the two cars, E46 or E92. Now I've driven both, I'm going to give you my answer. I will always regard the E92 M3 as kind of the king of all M3s, simply because of its V8 engine. It's a bit of an anomaly in BMW's M history. Whereas with this, the E46 M3, it's the definition of an M3. If you want to know what an M3 is all about, you come and drive one of these. And it feels light, it feels more natural. You put it through a corner and it's just the sheer balance and precision of this car. It just feels so light, so connected. You do not buy a convertible, you do not buy the SMG, you buy a coupe with a manual gearbox. End of. And when I said it feels lighter, fun fact here, the S65 V8 is actually lighter than the S54. So the ultimate question is, how does this car drive? Well, I think I've already pretty much answered that so far out of simple emotion. But one word to describe it, balanced. It's just perfect. Let it scream all the way to 8,000 RPM. Put it through a corner. Oh, it's so nimble. This is what an M car is all about. I can understand the hype. I can understand the E46 M3 being peak M car. I love the E92 M3, but this drives better, so much better. And the noise too. Yes, you haven't got that noise of the V8 from the E92, but this is just raw. So much more raw. Oh yes. You just cannot help do that. I mean, if you turned up to a car meet in this and you park next to an F80 or G80 M3, everyone's going to look at this, aren't they? And that just shows you. No one cares about the new stuff. The old stuff is where it's at. Well, I say old, it's 20 years old. So if you were car shopping in 2005 and you were looking at an E46 M3, but you wanted to see what other manufacturers were offering, well, from Audi, you had the B6 S4 with Quattro all-wheel drive, V8, but it was heavier. From Mercedes, you had the C55 AMG. I've always thought they're quite a cool-looking car, but not as cool as this. And that car come with a massive V8 engine, but only as an auto. From Porsche, you had the 996 911 Carrera, which was more expensive in its day. But after driving this today, I think this is better, and I personally think it looks better too, because I'm not so sure on the look of the 996. The 996.2 is where it's at. And last but not least, you had an offering from Japan in the form of a Nissan 350Z. Very popular car when they came out, and I do think they're quite cool because they featured a 3.5 litre V6 engine, naturally aspirated again. But again, I'd still rather this car. But if anyone's got a 350Z and they'd love me to feature one on the channel, please get in touch because I'd love to review it. So there you go. Apart from Porsche being Porsche, all its rivals were good, but not a patch on what BMW M engineers were able to achieve with this. BMW didn't just create another M car, they created a statement. A statement that still exists today and is only getting stronger because these cars, they're going up in value. Very much so. And here's the thing, BMW didn't just stop with the E46 M3. They went on to create something more spectacular in the form of, I think you know what I'm going to say, oh yes, the CSL. And prices reflect how special those cars are now. If you want to buy one, you're probably looking £120,000 plus for one of them. But what about if you wanted something special but not in CSL form? Well, for the UK market, you had something called the CS, which did use parts from the CSL, and they were only limited to the UK market. Good for us, because we're based in the UK, but for anyone watching from Europe, the States, South Africa, you have a big BMW market down there, Australia as well. Yes, unfortunately, the CS wasn't made for you guys. So what about if you cannot afford an E46 M3, but you want to experience something similar? Well, that's a good question. I would personally look at the E87 130i. And that comes with a naturally aspirated straight-six engine in the form of the iconic N52 engine. But what about if you wanted to stay E46? Well, I would then look at the 330 Ci, which featured the M54 engine, and those you can pick up for around £5,000. But I'd like to say a massive thanks to John for letting me get a review on the most iconic M car ever made. So thank you very much, John. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.